So my first installment on the Flash Brewing series that I'm going to put together of recipes using beer kits and some hop additions and occasionally maybe some specialty malts. This is the beer that I'm looking at making with spring around the corner, and where I am right now, spring is already here. I'm looking to make like just a little higher gravity lager style beer. So what am I going to call this beer? Spring, how about Spring Fever Lager. Okay, and the contents are 1 can Cooper's Lager beer kit, .3 pound Cooper's liquid malt extract. This is pale. Um, 1 ounce German spalt hops. Okay. Method, very simple. All flash brewing methods are based on creating strike water, which is either with specialty grains for about 10 minutes, creating your strike fluid, which then is the specialty grains will be strained and then either boiled with hops for about 5 minutes, and if in the some cases adding dry malt extract. Then that is combined with the can of a hopped beer kit and the additional fermentables. At that point, you add the necessary water to get up to the desired beer level and the gravity readings and bitterness. On the Cooper's website, there is a formula calculating approximate bitterness with a margin of error of 10 to 30%. It's impossible to know exactly because there's a lot of other variables involved, but you can get within a range to calculate approximate beer styles. So we'll do this and we'll check it out. Okay, so it's my first experimentation with this setup. I have a portable hot pot I'm using right here. This is the utility room of the new office that I have set up, and I got a little pot I put in there, and with the muslin bag I added the hops. I'm going to let that boil for about 5 minutes, get some aroma and flavor hops, maybe a little less than 5 minutes. It's almost ready. And then I'm going to add the malt extracts to the Cooper's fermenter, which has been sanitized, which is on this convenient cart I use to make my beer. And I'll add some more hot water, which I'll boil in this pot right here. And I have some water in this jug, or fermenter as it is, to top up. So that's where we are for now. And let's wrap this sucker up really quick, and cheers. Ingredients added to the fermenter. Yeast is pitched, and I'm ready to go. Hey, 2 weeks and then it's bottling day. Well, okay, I got my first brew together in my new space, and I was pleased. It really went fast. Hey, the beer was a little darker than I thought that I would have liked, but that's because of the malt extract was a little older. But a taste review seems to be all in good order. And anyway, well, to celebrate the first brew that I brewed here, I'm going to open my previous brew. This is the holiday beer that I made back in, I'm going to say October. I've got a few of these left, so I'm going to taste it now. It's certainly has aged. Probably the aroma and spices have aged out, or you could say melded into a awesome beer. Yeah, has a very nice smell. I can't remember all the spices in it. I know there's a little cinnamon stick. Just don't remember them all. Nice. Okay. Wow. Okay. Gotta love it. Cheers. All right, so here we are on day 2 of my Spring Fever Lager. I initially wanted to show day 1. However, I had stored my beer, my fermenter, in a storage locker that was probably a little too cold for the fermentation process. And after the initial 24-hour period, I checked, and my temperature range was in the 12 to 14 degrees Celsius range. A little too cold to get the yeasties kind of kicking in. I could tell there was some yeast working, it just wasn't working at the pace I expected. Again, this is I'm using an ale yeast, so it's not a true lager, but so my concern was to kick it back in, kick it up with a little warmer temperature, and this is what I've done. I brought it into my office here, and we now have a temperature of about 24, which is a little too high. 24 degrees Celsius. I think it might create some effects, but it's only been in this temperature range for about 14 hours, I'd say. So I'm kind of stuck between two extremes. I don't have temperature control as much in this room here, and I prefer to store it in my locker, my storage facility. So you can see the Krausen is cooking in real nice there on the Cooper's DIY fermenter. So I'll probably bring it down to the facility. The yeast, as you can see from the close-up shot here, is really cranking it out. And I believe that the yeast respiration, you can see me in the reflection on the fermenter there. The yeast respiration will kick up the temperature a few degrees as well. So I think I should be good to go. I'll keep an eye on it and make sure everything is still proceeding properly. That's not much to look at there, is it? So that's it. This is a beer I threw together with, you could call it, in addition to a Spring Fever Lager with the German Spalt Hop edition, you could call it my Thrift Shop Lager, although this is a Cooper's ale yeast, not a true lager yeast used in it. The cans that I had used were a little approaching expiration date for they were 2 years or so, which would make the malt extract a little darker and a little caramelization effect to it. Might actually add some interesting flavors, but I would prefer and highly recommend that you grab the freshest lager cans out there when making this beer. It will probably taste more along the lines of what you're expecting with a lager, even though it's an ale yeast. I do think the key, though, to properly ferment this beer is to try and bring it down to cooler temperatures. Again, with the ale yeast, you don't want to bring it too cool. If you can keep it down to 65 after the primary fermentation, because you do want to make sure the yeast does have a good jump start like I've got going in here. I hope I didn't wait too long. I'm pretty sure I didn't, because everything smells up and up. So having said that, I'll show you in a brief moment where my storage facility is as I'll wheel this down. Cheers. Just moved the cart into the storage facility. Much cooler in here, and of course I'll let it sit for the weekend. You can see the temperature is still around 22 Celsius. I'm sure it'll drop down. We've got some active fermentation and a good krausen going on. Well, that's it. Now it's just time to wait till bottling day, and that'll probably be about 2 or 3 weeks. So hey, have a great weekend, everybody. Talk to you soon.